So the fourth part that we will be talking about in this presentation is managing a company blog. So with the company blog, we don't want to be overworking ourselves by writing complicated articles that most people won't want to read. So we're going to be writing listicles instead.
All right. Well, David, what is a listicle?
Listicles are really the new top writing trend. They turn regular lists into really useful and really easy to read articles. So here on the right side of the screen, you'll see some examples. These are just some that we got off the internet. Meet the 20 dogs who took over this year's Sundance Film Festival. 18 celebrities you didn't know were really short. Getting the numbers in the title and creating lists instead of just one really long article will help drive people's attention towards these articles.
Right. What I really like about listicles is the articles practically write themselves. So on a piece of paper, you can write out what your article topic is going to be. And you don't have to do really high numbers like 18 and 24. You can do 3 and 5 and 10 and 13. You can keep it in the single digits if you want. You don't have to do these huge lists. But if the ideas are coming to you quickly, why not?
So, which title would stand out more to you if you saw both of these on a website? Wonderfully cozy cabins you'll want to live in, or 13 wonderfully cozy cabins you'll want to live in? Same thing goes if we were talking about SEO tips. Just having an article titled The Best SEO Tips is kind of boring and it's a generic title. But having a title of 13 of the best SEO tips of 2015, that will get a lot more attention. So we can take a look at some examples. When you go ahead and visit that takeaway page, once the webinar is over with the worksheet download, you can download the PDF and you'll be able to click these links to see the examples. We'll go ahead and take a look at one of them right now. So this one is 10 things that successful people do differently. Now, of course, it starts off as a normal article. It has an introduction, but most people are probably going to skip over that. They're going to go right to the meat of the article, and that's the list. So here we have all 10 items clearly defined. They're in bold, they're dark, they stand out.
Right. And it's easy to digest for people. People have really short attention spans these days. That's why listicles were probably created in the first place. And if someone likes what they see, they can read more if they want. They can read the full articles if they so chose to do. But they really get the idea of the article just by looking at the bullet points. And then these are great conversation starters with people. You know, they read these listicles for 30 seconds and they could go somewhere and start talking about it with someone else.
Exactly. It gives them a general idea of what they want, of what the article is about. And then if they want to dive deeper into some of the topics, they can go ahead and do so. They can read that extra content.
Yep. All right.
So why should we be writing listicles? Well, they're easy to write and they're easy to read. They make a lasting impression and they're great for busy people who are on the go, people who don't have a lot of time to read long articles. Listicles are also shared a lot more often than typical articles and they'll attract more readers. So with regular typical articles, they're harder to read than listicles. You'll end up wasting time by trying to create clever titles to bring people into that article. It's also not going to garner any instant gratification from the reader. Having the listicle, they can scroll through the entire listicle in a matter of seconds and know exactly what content is within that article. It's much harder to do that with a typical article. Typical articles are shared a lot less, and by having less readers, you're going to be getting less traffic. And ultimately, that means getting less members.
And in my opinion, you can pump out these articles a lot faster than typical articles that you would write. And therefore, you're producing content more efficiently. And also, when you have an article, a listicle that really hits the mark and people is really resonating with your visitors, you might want to start running Facebook ads or Google ads to that specific article because you know that it's really converting visitors and you've done a really good job with it.
Exactly. Going back really quick to how much easier it is to write, you can think of it as writing an essay versus writing an outline for the essay. Writing an essay can take a few hours, but putting together a quick little outline of what you'll want to talk about in that essay is probably only going to take maybe half an hour. So it's much quicker, much easier.